Long, long ago, in a village hidden in the leaves, there was once a lone shinobi which loved to hula hoop. Try as she might, she was not the fastest or the most deadly. Until one day, the Hokage himself handed her a white ball and said, "Go forth and find yourself, young one." And find herself she did.
Hello, lovies. Welcome back. We are on episode 2 of Kitchen Alchemy, and I am your host, Vicky. Thank you so much for joining. Today, you guys, it is the day. As you guessed from the intro, my anime heads, we are doing a very non-traditional, but still extremely delicious chicken ramen. I will be taking you through the entire process from start to finish using whole ingredients, including whole chicken, feet, chicken hearts. I will be taking you through the broth, and finally when we cook our chicken, vegetables, and putting it all together into the final delicious bowl that you're gonna see in the end. Let's get started. Step number 1, we are starting with roasting our ingredients here, our raw chicken and our chicken parts here. Now, why are we roasting it? We're roasting it for added flavor. The finished product, the broth, it's gonna have layers and layers of nice, smoky kind of flavored mouth feel, that umami flavor, and you want that. So we're gonna start. This is all already washed. We have our feet, the whole carcass, and the hearts. Now, I know this looks crazy, right? Like, Vicky, why are you doing this? This looks like some kind of M. Night Shyamalan movie. I get it. But you guys, as over the last couple of years, as I've been cooking more farm to table style, I realized the importance of incorporating more parts of the animal, not just sticking to the breast, not just sticking to the thighs. There are a lot of a lot of nutrients, minerals, lots of collagen, all kinds of good things in the organs and other parts of the animal. So I encourage you to experiment and kind of see how you feel about it. Maybe your mind will change. We're gonna coat using avocado oil. Remember, we want a high heat cooking oil here, and we're just going to coat everything so that it doesn't scorch in the oven. Perfect. In your preheated oven, set to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Gonna pop our tray into the oven here. And then we're gonna set a timer, about 40 to 45 minutes. I'm gonna put 45 minutes, hit start, and in the meantime, we're going to prep the rest of our ingredients. While our chicken is in the oven getting a good roast, we're gonna go ahead and prepare our vegetables. These will be used later. So when it comes to personalizing your ramen, you can use literally whatever vegetables you want. Again, this is not a traditional recipe, so make it your own. We're gonna be using broccoli, red onion, and mushroom. Getting ready. After your vegetables have been chopped and prepped, you can go ahead and set those aside. In the meantime, I'm just seasoning up some chicken thighs here. I'm using bone-in, skin on. You can remove the skin if you'd like, but I like to keep it. It adds some very delicious fats to the overall cooking. And also, if you would like to fry the skin at the end to use it as a garnish, I'll show you how to do that as well. It's been about 40-45 minutes, and we're gonna take our tray out of the oven and prepare for the low and slow broth making process. So here I have an 8-quart stock pot and I have it on low. You'll see here we're gonna keep it on low the entire time. Let's take our tray out. Woo! Be careful. Now carefully, we're just gonna place everything into the stock pot. All right, low and slow. We're gonna set a timer here for 8 hours. And let that go. In another hour, we'll be back to add some of our spices, our bay leaf, and half an onion. But we'll do that in about 1 to 2 hours. So just relax, catch up on Jujutsu Kaisen, and we'll see you in a couple hours. Okay, so it's been about 2 hours since we got started, and now we're gonna begin the process of flavoring our broth. So we take the top off. Again, we're keeping it on low the entire time. So this is what you see. And we're gonna use these right here. We have some tarragon, oregano, coriander, roses, some sea salt, bay leaves, umami seasoning, and rice vinegar. Now, starting with our rice vinegar, you want to add maybe 4 tablespoons. When I make this, I don't typically measure, but we're going to start with about 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. When it comes to seasoning and flavoring your food, always remember, start small if you're unsure and then increase the flavor profile as you go along, because you can always add flavor, but you cannot take it back if you overdo it. For a tarragon here, just a few flakes, I would say about a teaspoon. We're gonna start with a teaspoon of everything. Some fresh oregano. We're gonna add all of these spices, give it a stir, and let it keep going for another 2 hours. I'm doing 1 heaping tablespoon of sea salt. Thank you. There we go. And for our bay leaves here, if you have dry bay leaves, we're gonna add 2 to the pot. Perfect. Give this a stir. And top back on. We'll check it again in another 2 hours. We are about 8-9 hours into our broth making process, and the complete finished broth should look something like this. Now, this is of course after you have run all the contents of your stock pot through a strainer. You should be left with this beautiful broth here. This is a recipe within itself. You could stop right here, let it cool down, store it in mason jars. You can keep a couple in the fridge. You could sip pre or post workout. You could have a cup of this just by itself if you're feeling sick. You can make rice, quinoa, all kinds of things you can do with that. So maybe I'll make another video in the future talking about what all you can do with your homemade broth. Really delicious. What we're gonna do is crisp up our chicken skin. Then we're gonna saute our vegetables in the same pan that we cooked our chicken. For those who may be wondering, okay, how did you cook your chicken thighs? That'll be a completely separate video. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started with the skins. So getting started, you removed your chicken skin off the thigh, place it down in the same juices that your chicken cooked in the oven. And basically what we're doing with this, we just want to crisp it up a little bit more, and it's going to create this really delicious garnish in the ramen. Now our chicken skin, you're going to let these fry for maybe 3 to 4 minutes, then remove it, set it on a plate to cool down. Don't add it to anything else until you're ready to eat it. In the meantime, we have 3 eggs here. We're gonna do our ramen egg, which is a soft in the middle, kind of jelly egg. In a small pot, a little over halfway filled with water. You're gonna bring this to a rolling boil, right? Once your water is boiling, taking your cool egg, the eggs are still gonna be a little bit cold, and carefully drop them straight into the water. Careful not to slam them so they don't crack. You don't want them to crack on you. So again, doing like that. Maybe a soft dip just to acclimate it to the temperature, and then slowly drop it in there, just like that. We're gonna set a timer for exactly 7 minutes. I will put in the description the exact measurements I use here, but essentially we're gonna create a ramen base of soy sauce. We have our crunchy garlic with the chili oil, mushroom flavored dark soy sauce, fish sauce, and oyster sauce. So again, I will put all of this in the description, but we're gonna create a mixture in this cup, and that way we can customize it to how we want the flavoring of our ramen. After your 7 minutes are up, take your spoon carefully. You're dunking your eggs straight into ice water. We're gonna let these sit in the ice bath for about 10 minutes, and then you can peel them by gently tapping them against the side of the sink or on the counter, and just gently using your fingernails, peel the shell off. Here is the finished product, you guys. Chicken ramen with our soft boiled egg, the broccoli, the mushrooms. We have some seaweed here and our crispy chicken skin garnish. You guys, this is a fantastic dinner, especially when you have time to be in the kitchen for a while, like a good Sunday morning prep going into the evening. If you give this a try, absolutely tag me on Instagram at LunaPoshHippie. Let me know you tried it. If you end up even just making the broth and incorporating it into your weekly regimen, maybe you have it pre or post workout, or if you notice that that helps you out, let me know that as well. And of course, before we let you go, we have to have our cameraman give it a try.
In honor of this amazing meal, I must perform the fireball jutsu.
Oh, You know what's offensive if you don't slurp.